Hello! Hello, chaps. How are you guys doing? Marathon tomorrow. I'm excited to see more art from Marathon, but I didn't have the chance to play it during the alpha. Did you play it, Cider? Standing here, I realise I'm second this time. Never mind. I learn the honoured one. It sounds like it sounds like lyrics to like an emo song. Standing here, I realise I am the second this time. Never mind. I'm alone. I am honoured one. Beautiful lyrics. Played the alpha. How was it? Seems the comment stuff is fixed. Yeah, I think they basically mentioned it almost immediately after our stream ended, and they put up a thing saying, "Okay, look, other people are having the same problem." So yeah. How the bard doing? The bard's doing well. Thank you very much. How are you, Daniel? How are you, Sidon? How are you guys doing? Tired and busy, but very good. Very good indeed. Today we're going to be drawing our winner from Name That Character. I did check it earlier. Hopefully it's still the same because I've kind of got a vibe going with this one. Oops, might hear that there. So the winner is, what was a close one? Bacchus the Winemaker. God, it was a very close one. Sidon, you were second. Someone else. We got 1, 2, 3. Oh, Blank was second as well. That was close. I don't recommend you buy it. Oh, the alpha was really good. Why don't you recommend it? It's going to distract me. Doing good. Just took a shower. Nice. So yeah, today we're going to be drawing Bacchus the Winemaker. That was by someone called Asher Anderson. I'll write a comment. I'm going to try to write comments now. To indicate when like one of the competitions is finished, because I get a lot of people commenting on it after the fact, and I always forget. Yeah. So Bacchus the Winemaker. By Ash. Pin that. There we go. Okay, that's pinned in. Right, I'll drop in a link and see if anyone wants to join the stream. And then we'll crack on with this drawing. I've received feedback on chapter 1. Nice. I've been playing again the Everything Evolves into Crab game since the demo was out. I haven't seen that. Is it good? I'll drop a link in the Discord. We streaming. Oops. Okay. lots of PvP last I checked. You're not much of a fan of that. Yeah. Oh, you know me well, Sidon. Yeah. Exactly the problem. I think I understand PvP games, and I understand people who like the grind, but gosh, it is a grind with a lot of those games. You have to kind of stay competitive and play constantly, otherwise you just fall behind. Hey, but lots of people jumping in. Hey, Laura. Hey, it's not 42. How's it going? Joe, nice to have you here. Thanks for jumping in, guys. How are you? We are drawing Bacchus, the winemaker. Although currently he's pouring a few pints. I was going to do this as like a really Greek one, but I thought it'd be fun to do like a British sheep. And his name's Bacchus, but everyone calls him Baba, which is a bit of like a sheep slur, I guess, for sheep fae, but that's fine. Doesn't mind. How are you guys all doing? What you guys been up to this week? Laura, I must say you are a machine when it comes to drawing. You seem to pump out so much stuff, and like good quality stuff as well. How do you find the time? Give them little shoes, because I like drawing little shoes. Make them a bit smaller than that. Oops. Maybe hide his hand a bit more. See that? Like I said, we're drawing a... So the sheep we're drawing is called a Jacob sheep. That kind of cool mottled colour. They've got nice horns as well. Inside Marathon, the wipe system helps lower the constant grind and gap between new and old, but I would say that it's better to just save your money. What's the wipe system? Lots and lots of drawing. Thank you. I don't do anything else for my day. If I say, that's the best way to spend your day. One goal of mine is I would like to eventually make this a full-time gig. Maybe if I can like eventually produce my TTRPG, so I could just sit around drawing all day with my dog outside in the garden, or I guess most of the year inside, but that would be the dream for sure. Yeah, the rat is a drawing machine. You are indeed. I need to get a new sketchbook. The current one is running out of pages. Nice. It's a good feeling. I have I've got 6 sketchbooks next to me, or 7, and I've got like a shelf full of them as well. And a lot of it's I guess not super great stuff, but sometimes I'll go through there and I'll get like I'll have a look through them and I'll get an idea. My mum brought round a sketchbook that was in our house for a while when I used to live there. And so everyone in the house, all my family are artists, so everyone in the house had like been drawing in it. So it's quite funny to see who drew what. You can kind of tell from like everyone's style, but that's cool. You ever see a Damascus goat? No, I have not. Let me Google it. Damascus goat. Oh, I have seen them. Oh, gosh. Good lord. What a face. Oh, poor goat. Horrendous. Have you ever seen a mountain chicken? Mountain chicken. It's a frog? Giant ditch frog. What a great name, mountain chicken. Have you ever seen my face? I have not. I've seen a chicken cross the road, but not a mountain chicken. Not yet. Right. Let's get some shading in this. What we'll do is we'll do the barrel first. Oh, I've been doing a bunch of animations for the new what do you call it? For the new video, the currency video. I was trying to share them on Discord, but I don't have Nitro. I might get Nitro just so I can share them, but it's essentially animations of like currency, and I've done some of like a marble sword which I made in Blender, and it's looking pretty cool actually. I'm going to test it out and see what people think in the new video, because I haven't really shown a lot. I don't think I've shown. I think in my original introduction I showed some 3D stuff, but I've not shown it since. I think it could be like a cool one to, a cool addition to like some of the content I share. And I was like, oh, I wonder how to do like animations in Blender, and I googled it, and it was very easy. So I might do a few more of them. They're kind of fun to do. Wipes are where your loot gets removed every 3 months and unlocks and stuff. Oh. Why do they do that? I get it, so it's like people aren't grinding, but do you get any like passive rewards? I know with art creators, I think you get passive like buffs if you choose to wipe your stuff. So it's like, it's kind of worth it because you get like an increase to whatever. But is there a reason why people would do it in Marathon? You get some passive stuff. Okay. There's a tub next to me full of drawing books. This is just full of years of art. Nice. That's how it should be. Right, I'm going to take this Damascus goat picture off my screen because it's horrifying. Jacob's goats are much cuter, but they have very like devil horns. I'm trying to find a reference picture which kind of matches the pose I'm going for. That one kind of does. There we go. Nice. I wouldn't mind a pet sheep, but it seems like the sort of thing that would just be a lot of effort. Seem like nice tempered animals. So with that name, you would think it's some kind of actual chicken, right? But no, it's this damn thing. Throws frog at Joe. This is mountain chicken, species of frog. Why do they call it mountain chickens? I'm so confused. I've always wondered why, since I was a little boy, why did the chicken cross the road? Let's get to the other side. Damn! You got your side in. Rip. You gotcha. Let's come on nicely. Yeah. If I'm honest, whenever I'm doing the name that character stuff on like Wednesday afternoon, I'll generally go on the YouTube and see which one is like highest, because normally it doesn't change by the time we get to the stream. So then I can start like sketching in my drawing in my sketchbook. And so far I haven't been caught out like with one like overtaking at the last minute. But the day that happens, I'll be a lot less prepared for the stream. This one I had like a few ideas of sketches, and I was going to do like a proper winemaker, but I thought, oh, a goat with cool horns would be fun instead. I can get rid of the background now. Lower it a little bit. There has to be more. I was told there was more to the joke. I've been searching for years. There must be more. Winter just subbed to me. The YouTube world building community is so lovely. Nice. Well, your stuff's really good, Laura. For one. But second of all, yeah, I would also say I agree. I was kind of chatting to Winter about it afterwards, after we stopped the recording, and I think you kind of hear the end of it at the end of our podcast. But I think I said to him something along the lines of, it's been so nice being part of this particular art community, like the world building community, because I find it seems to be very receptive and like very, everyone's like trying to help each other out. And of course there's so many like talented artists that it's very inspiring to see. So it's been, I agree. I think it's such a cool community. Guy's legs a bit too big, chunky boy, so he's a wider stance. Let's get a bit of colour on him. This might actually be quite a fast one. Right, let's do him red first, so we know where he is. There we go. I want to draw the Spinosaurid looking thing that has feathers and hunts like a heron. It'll be difficult, but I must try to find it. That sounds awesome. Is that a real dinosaur thing? I know I'm not allowed to say dinosaur. Everyone told me off last time I said that, but you know what I mean when I say dinosaur. It just helps for easier time for new players while giving older players something to look forward to. It's a good way to do it. And to be honest, I think an obligatory wipe is better, because I think some people would just choose not to wipe so they can harass like newer players. But I also heard with Ark they have quite a strict matchmaking system where it's like if you're a super aggressive player, they just put you with other super aggressive players. And like you have kind of a graph that follows you as you play, and it just measures, how aggressive you are with everyone in general. But it's good. Very messy. We like messy. Right, for this one, if I get him finished pretty quickly, what I might do is, like I did with Sao Chil, Crow's one in the previous thing, is I might do like a more complicated background, like the black background rectangles that I do, and I'll do like a bar behind Bacchus, and that's kind of just showing up in that rectangle. Like, let's do it now actually. Oops. So we'll draw a bar inside of that area there. Just make it look cool. But what we might do is might make it a little bit thinner, because I don't want it kind of overlapping with that. Okay. The mug. Don't want lines crossing. Lovely. That looks good. But first, I must draw something for someone's birthday. Struggling to think what to draw for them. Everybody likes dinosaur drawings. Dinosaur drawing is always appreciated. At least it's not the chicken of the woods. Supposedly, but they taste like chicken. Hello, Gica Mancini. How do you know what they taste like? You better have been eating frogs. Oh, it's called mountain chicken because it tastes like chicken. Oh gosh, this reminds me of Bard. Have you ever heard about mountain oysters? Am I gonna see something horrible when I look at this? Mountain oysters. Ah, that's horrible. Why did you show me that, Fallen? Good lord. Don't Google mountain oysters, everyone. Just joined Monster Gardens Discord. It's huge. It's huge and it's awesome. It's like such a receptive place for like feedback and stuff. And I find people are like very happy. To be honest, Sidon, I always presumed you were in there. I don't know why I didn't know why I didn't know you weren't. I was in there for a while. I think my old world building page is still up there. Way too big for my tails. Still buddies with the mods though. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I would say, you know, I think there's people on there, and some people will like follow your project and be quite receptive of it, but I think it's very easy to get lost in there. And I feel like there's a lot of people in there who kind of are a bit cliquey now. I think the server as a whole is great. It's really fantastic, but like you said, I think it's because it's so big, I think people kind of know each other on there, like a bit of a community. So perhaps it's a bit more of a difficult place to get established. Oh, bugger. Ah! That's why I have to concentrate whilst you're drawing. But to be honest, I still recommend going on there. I think it's a really cool place. Obviously, it's like a very positive setting for like world building, and there's a lot of really inspired projects on there as well. I think you can't really go wrong by like perusing on there. I think yeah, it's the sort of place where it's like obviously specifically mostly world builders, and so if you're looking for new projects to follow, it's a good place to go as well. Foul shot. It's not an actual dinosaur thing. It's a monster from the Great Southern Rainforest from aesthetic. Ah, okay. That sounds awesome. But yeah, I want to draw a bunch of stuff. Nice. A dinosaur would be in reference to a dinosaur. See, the one thing that grinds my grundle is that when people call a Petrosaurus a dinosaur or a Mosasaur a dinosaur. But what would you call them, Laura? Is there like a different name for them? As a dinosaur noob, I'm not sure. Put a page up for my setting on Monster Garden side in. So I need to write down the wingspan and a bunch of biological facts about the last god of the Fae in my setting. I asked you if you knew them. I don't make you look it up. You just search it for yourself. I'm thinking of making the wingspan of the thing around 25 meters. So big burb, very big burb. There's certainly some clicks forming. The whole Sky Hornet group is interesting. Sky Hornet, yeah. I can't remember. To be honest, I pop in there every now and again just to check new stuff, but I haven't been in a little while, to be honest. It's one thing I like about our Discord, not to toot my own horn, I feel like everyone in our Discord is very receptive of new people entering. Like we've had a bunch of new people recently, and they've got really engaged into the Discord, and like putting their stuff up, and everyone's really engaging with it, which is cool. But again, I think that's like you were saying, Jika. I think it's the advantage of being a small server is you don't really have like problems, speaking to people and engaging for sure. Barkeep, 17th century. What does a barkeep look like? An innkeeper. Let's find a good reference to one. Everyone had very brown clothes. Do you know what? Should we give him a little beret as well? Let's give him a little beret. I really like the berry. Okay, that's fine. Mollymog, that's where I'm reminded from, yeah, for Skyhornet. And I want to just make my first vid expansive. Marine and flying reptiles. Honestly, Sidan, I would say with your first video, just put it out there. I think my first video, I ended up replacing it. So it's still on there as a private video, but I ended up replacing it because it didn't really represent my project very well anymore. So I think, it's better to kind of get it out there, and then you can always kind of retcon it, which is exactly what I did. Right, I'm gonna give this guy big socks because everyone likes big socks. Just color this in so we can see what's there. Oops. There we go. Sorry, I'm really into drawing these socks at the moment. Proper name for them, or Archosaur as the whole group. Ooh. The clade or the family that Apatosaur is flying reptiles, marine and flying reptiles. That's just what they're called, as they aren't true dinosaurs, and Mosasaurus would be the part of the family of ocean reptile. Dinosaurs are part of a whole different line, more akin to birds. Man, I don't know anything about dinosaurs. I was presumed in my noobiness that all things which I thought were dinosaurs were like birds. So what you're telling me right now, you're blowing my mind, is that there are some of the things we see in the Jurassic Park movies. Are any of those animals reptiles? Or like I said, marine. What do you call them? Marine and flying reptiles. Or are they all birds? Because I was just, you hear the thing about them people being like, oh yeah, dinosaurs would descend from birds, not lizards. I never thought. I was like, just agreed to that. I was like, yeah, okay, I believe you. I don't need to I don't need to look into this anymore. I'm convinced. This bit more of a paler colour. I like a Bacchus. This jolly looking sheep. Or Barbar, as his friends call him. Alright, Mal, we'll be back soon. I've been trying to catch one of these for a while. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, Mosasaur are related to living monitor lizards like Komodo dragons. That is super cool. Damn. The Jurassic Park franchise has flying and marine reptiles. Yes, they still call them dinosaurs. Yeah, it pisses me off. Also, birds are dinosaurs. So there's something really funny about some of them being gigantic on the acceleration. Yeah. Do you know, that's a fun fact about the acceleration. I originally planned to do like dinosaurs, but like where you'd have like finches and other birds like blackbirds and crows and things like that, and then essentially stretch them so they looked more like dinosaurs. So I was going to do it kind of a bit more fantastical or like speculative evolution, and then eventually I was like, do you know what? Do you know what's really scary? It's just birds, just birds in general. You don't need to make them into dinosaurs to make them scary. It's like imagine being attacked by a pack of wrens or like finches or something, and there's like 50 of them, and they're all the size of dogs, and they're all very fast. That would be terrifying. So that was that's essentially what changed about it. Sorry guys, I didn't include any dinosaurs or marine or flying reptiles. Maybe one day. I'm still considering what to do for some of the other continents. I feel like I'm just going to stick to the same thing and just do trolls and of course like giants and things like that. But thinking from like the TTRPG perspective, I do want to do some other yeah, from the TBR aspect, I want to do some. I want to make it like very intriguing and kind of scary, a bit like a horror game. So we'll have to kind of figure that out eventually. Right, let's do. Color his face in a bit. Kind of yellow eyes. Maybe less yellow. The only ones that would be considered birds would be the theropods of the movies, like the raptors, the tyrannosaur, the gallimimus, etc. Essentially, the bipedal animals are more akin to birds. The dinosaurs in the Dracula films are not true dinosaurs. Interesting. Secretary bird troll called the terror bird. Oh yeah, there's a whole line of birds called terror birds. I'm learning a lot today. Let's Google terror bird. Oh damn, they are scary. Oh my god, they're terrifying. Well, the thing is, birds aren't true dinosaurs, as the first birds evolved around the time the dinosaurs were already established. They are related, though. Birds, a whole confusing mess. I saw this about, like, scientific classifications, where something like the word fish is completely redundant, because it's like fish vary so much that you can't really just categorize them as fish. So I think that probably annoys like marine biologists as well, for people to be like, oh yeah, sharks are fish, clownfish a fish, stingray's a fish. It's like way too much variety within one classification. Scientific question: which larger group of animal birds evolved from has traditionally been called the origin of birds? The current scientific consensus. This is the whole thing about which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Drawing something new. What are you drawing, Cider? Be right back. Dins will be back. Bring some extras for everyone in chat. I'm hungry, Laura. Right, we need to give him a little bit of a... like a little bit yellow. Not like completely white. In fact, their horns kind of come up and over, so... There we go. And then... Nice. The birds are a group of Maniraptoran theropod dinosaurs that originated during the Mesozoic era. Damn, this is hurt my brain. Murder ostrich. It's a good way to describe them. I thought birds are dinosaurs. Drawing the Legionary and the dragon. Was the Legionary with the one that Joe drew? So done. And we'll give him some nice brown shoes. My iPad gets so hot during these streams. Which comes first, chicken or the egg? The fish. This reminds me, starfish are now going to be renamed sea stars, which is funny because that's already how they're known in my native language, sea stars. Because that makes more sense than starfish. That's my name. I heard my name. I summoned you, Joe. Like Beetlejuice. Oops. Hello. Let's do some shadows. It's coming along nicely. Everything always looks better with a little shadow on it. Nice. Do a bit of go to the lines on this. Colour that in a bit more, and then maybe do some lighting on it. This green is kind of throwing off the colour on everything. Why did you do that? There we go. We're getting there. Legionary is the one that Joe drew. His name is Antioch. Antioch gets a new title. Antioch the Martyr. Spoilers! Right, we'll give this some nice lighting as well. Let's do this one as an ad. We'll be doing another ad layer. As well. Oh, that's too bright. This one's gonna be kind of dirty. I think it's got stains all over his jacket. Looking kind of cool. I just remembered we have. I just remembered that we have that Feyn ant colony that is commanded by the Ant Queen Dragon. So hear me out. A rival nest of communal insects, wasps that have their own Wasp Queen Dragon would be neat. You kill my boy immediately. No. Not Antioch the Martyr. Poor Antioch. Since ants can raid wasp nests in search of larvae that are a good source of protein, there's this vid about an ant colony creating a living bridge to the raid of wasps. Jesus. We talked about that. Fallen, remember, some sort of eternal war between them, keeping them in check. Forgot it. Then Bard went through with that. Only 2 people deserve plot armor, and Joe Antioch is not one of them. Oh, poor Antioch. That's an awesome idea, Fallen. Yeah, we did talk about that a little while ago. I think we talked about making it like a, or doing like a beehive, or like doing like yeah, some kind of like bee's nest or wasp nest. I think we'll do something like that in the future. But yeah, I've got so many plans for like different things. One of the things I want to touch on eventually is that, ages ago when we talked about like the fungus that infects insects and arachnids and stuff. I want to touch on that eventually. What else? I want to touch on the vampire who lives in Whitby, or it's called the grave. I think it's called the Grave of Whitby. I want to talk about the cult of Corvus, because they still haven't really admitted that dude's still alive. So there's a lot to talk about. So we'll get to it eventually. Right. Let's draw a kind of bar-ish scene in the background. First of all, it changed the colour. The colour's horrible. Get a brown. And then we'll do some colour on top. Oops. Ooh, it's kind of blending in there. I need to kind of make it look bar-esque. It's got kind of like bar vibe. Maybe make it a bit darker. Oops. How did I do that? Bees are much more chill. I would recommend wasps instead. It would fit more. Also, ants, bees, and wasps are related, since they all come from one ancestor species that diverged on them. Yeah, I saw, I think, it's like cockroaches and praying mantises are also related to wasps and ants, I think. Maybe? Cordyceps. Nice, that's the one. Made a basic preview. Let's have a look at your basic preview. So I like in your project it says, will I ever be done? You're replying to yourself, I won't. Oh no. Right, we'll make this a bit darker as well. Do you know what we're missing? We're missing backlighting. So behind this one, there can be an orange glow. A lighter orange glow. Oops. In fact, we will. What's the next one? Something like that, and then we'll do. Kind of yellowy hue. Good old Bacchus. Rabbids, hello. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're drawing Bacchus, the winemaker, who ironically is pouring beer. How are you doing, Rabbids? These guys are educating me about dinosaurs, flying and marine insects, reptiles, and starfish. So if you have anything else to add, it's always appreciated. My favourite booze ram. He's here. He runs the best pub in town. Definitely worth popping in. I might actually make his lighting a bit more dramatic. Feels like it's not dramatic enough. I meant to ask you guys last time. Has the stream been dropping out again, like it did? I don't know, like it used to do in the past. I think you guys haven't mentioned it in a while, so I thought maybe we're good. It's fixed itself. Picture stable, nice, good to hear. You know, I enjoy making these name that character sketches because I feel like I kind of mentioned it in the previous one. I like doing the kind of foreign fae, but I think any kind of drawing I have to do kind of forces my hand a little bit, which is nice because it means I have to kind of improvise a little bit. It's in the wrong place. What's highlighting from there? Nah, we're fine. Let's do some details on this back bar. We'll do some minor details. Make it look like some shadow in here. Maybe some like booze bottles. Oops. We'll do some behind there. Get the vibe of bottles. That's the most important thing. It's coming together quite nice. It's a bit too bright. I think that might be a bit too bright on his face. I think the horn would kind of cover it anyway. Right, his apron needs some more detailing as well. So what we might do is just remove all that. Do some textures. Let's see what other textures we have. Oh, it's so saturated. So various in color. Don't want that. Let's try that one. There we go, a bit more interesting. Bit of color in the shirt. Never hurt anybody. Probably get a bit of yellow in there. Put a bit of purple in there as well. Might even get a little bit of red in this one. We'll do a bit of orange in this one. Nice! What a pretty boy. God, I think it adds a lot to it as soon as you start adding random stuff in there. Oh, it's a bit too bright. Let's take it back a little bit. Take it back now, y'all. Not too much. Took it too far. Much better. He's the goat indeed, Mr. Goat. 420 MGs. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, Safirin. Ah, nice. Good to have you here. And Duck. Welcome, Duck. And Lawrat is back. What did you eat, Lawrat? How are you, Duck? How are you, Safirin? How's the day going? Very well, thank you. Very chill. Bit busy, but we like busy. Busy's always good. How about you, mate? I just realised that this dude's ear is missing. Where's his ear missing? Yeah, we're working on this. This is from the Name That Character segment, the shorts on YouTube. So we're kind of working our way through this one. This is Bacchus, the winemaker, who also likes to make beer. Nice. Nice and dramatic. I like dramatic shadows. Oh, Blank's here as well. Good to have you here, Blank. Enchilada and rice. Oh, that sounds good. Just going from work, the big drained. I feel ya. Looks like Steve lost. Ah, blank. I'm sorry, mate. I checked it last night, and you were drawing with Bacchus. And then I checked it at lunchtime, and Bacchus was 1 ahead of you. And then I think you, in the end, you drew with Saidan and someone else in second place. But you were close, blank. I think people like your suggestions, so I keep going with it. Doing decent. Been forcing my friends to watch JJK, and we just got to season 3 recently. Nice. It's good when you force your friend to watch something you like, and then they actually like it. It's a feel-good moment. What I might do is I'm going to make it a little bit darker behind his ear. Just so the ear stands out a bit more. At the moment you can't really see it. In fact, we might cheat a little bit and do some little ears. Well, I don't know what's going on up here. Good lord. What a mess. What a mess. This was the closest Steve's ever got, yeah. So you've been working on Steve for a while now, blank. And you're doing well. I think he's almost there. I think he'll be next time. I believe in Steve. I believe in Steve. Bacchus is coming together quite well. Clean him up a little bit. You know what, I might actually make these mug, like the brown of these mugs, a lot lighter because it's quite difficult to see them. In fact, what we'll do, so we don't lose that nice colour, is we're gonna paint over the top. And then if we just do soft light or something. We'll do overlay. As we do soft light. It's like a nice warmer colour. And then we'll use the cheat method again. Just kind of get an edge on these. Oops. Nice. We were extra slow, so I got to do some concept doodling that I'm thinking of actually trying to make something out of. Nice. What are you doodling exactly? He's getting me back by forcing me to watch Game of Thrones. To be fair, Duck, Game of Thrones is great. The first, I I think even up to like season 6, it's such a good series, and obviously a lot of the heavy lifting is done by George R. R. Martin because it's like his writing is still very present in it. It's just it's a shame what happened after that, but yeah, you know, love me some Game of Thrones. I've read all the books. In fact, I'm sat right next to all of the books right now, all the ones that are out. I've read Dunk and Egg, although I haven't seen the series yet. God damn, I love Game of Thrones. Steve shall win eventually. He shall blank. You've got this. I believe in you. I'm drawing fire without red. Intriguing. Alright, what are we thinking of Bacchus? I think it looks pretty cool, right? You could do with maybe a little bit of like backlighting. You might cheat and make the bar like a little bit smoky. Oops. Oops. Does that work? Not really. It's just a bit messier, doesn't it? Kind of hides the glow in the background. That's fine. I think he still kind of reads well, right? Making really small. It still kind of looks like a goat. Who knows? Let me catch up on chat. Grabs my friend by the head. You will watch JJK and you will like it. Straps friends to the chair and puts him on the TV. I've heard of people doing that with One Piece. And be like, okay, you have to watch it. And they're like, oh man, this is great. How many episodes do I have to watch? And they're like, oh, don't worry about that. You have to watch all of them, but just don't worry about how many episodes you have to watch. We get to the short in time, but I'll try and post it in the Discord as soon as it's up, blank. And then you'll have time to get on it. Are there any special ales and or beverages in the Acceleration world made from fellow Fae and or oversized fruits and plants? Great question. I was going to do an episode on that because I wanted to do a video about me trying to learn how to draw anime food. Because I love Studio Ghibli food. I love the food in Monster Hunter. I don't play much Monster Hunter, so I don't know it very well. But I know the little cat dudes make the food and it looks awesome. So I would like to make food like that. So I might do a video, like a new style of concept videos where it's like me learning to do art. So it's gonna be me learning to draw food. So if I do that video, I'll talk about things like giant steak or we could call it mountain chicken special, which is made by herons in the swamp or something. Swamp chicken, what they'll call it. Things like that. But yeah, oversized fruits you could do like raspberries, but it's like one whole raspberry, and you cook a chicken inside of it. I don't know. Well, chickens don't exist in the Acceleration, so no chicken. You know, the making of alcohol in the Acceleration is an interesting subject. Absolutely. It's some big ass barrels and big ass fruits. I've still read the first book of Game of Thrones. The books are so good, blank. The series is good. The books are amazing. They're very violent. Very, very violent. Much more violent than the series. Very dark as well, but man, George R. R. Martin is a very good writer. I would say just be warned. He's probably the most descriptive author in the world, so he forces himself to describe every item of food at every table, so yeah. We're almost at the end of season 2 of Game of Thrones. Took a break to watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Nice. Just off my world, Torek, pronounced as Torque. This cool idea for a ship I'm calling the Terror Hulls. but I haven't really been able to get any solid ideas for it. Nice. It's like a ship, like an old-timey ship or like a spaceship. Because we haven't. I think in the acceleration, I think we managed to catch a lot of fantasy people with our acceleration net. So a lot of I think it's only really Saidan who's doing sci-fi. I don't know if anyone else is doing sci-fi, but yeah. It'd be nice to explore the alcohol culture, specifically for the Fae, making some traditional alcohol beverages from their people using stuff like fruit and honey. I do want to do some more stuff on the Fae, and I was a bit inspired by Nubmark, and he does a lot of like really detailed equipment videos. So I wanted to do something similar, like to do like equipment videos on things that the Fae would use. So for example, like Baba here would maybe have... Actually, let's do that now. I might put some decorations in his horns. Because I was thinking like a lot of sheep Fae maybe would have flowers in their horns if they were like proper Fae, or jewelry, or like marble trinkets. Just because they obviously have the hands to decorate themselves, so it'd be like a good way to kind of have some decorations. But yeah, I think it's I'll definitely get a bit more into like Fae culture for sure. HOTD is a beautiful show in the Game of Thrones universe. Yeah, I've heard a lot of really positive things. Might have to try it out. Like I explore this in my setting as well. I never really explored much the creation of alcohol on Spec Evolution. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like food in general, I think, could be like a really interesting thing to see in a lot of people's worlds, because I think it would say a lot about the world. You know, how the people eat and what they eat and how they prepare the food and stuff, which is beautiful, and it's what inspired me to create so much art for all the animals in my world. Nice. I've seen people on George R. R. Martin complain that they're changing a lot of stuff on the show that wasn't on the book. From HOTD, yeah. I mean, so I read the Hedge Knight comics, and they were really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed them. But is it Hedge Knight? I think it's called Dunk and Egg. I can't remember what it's called, the comics, but they're very good. So I don't know what they've changed, but yeah. Yeah, Monster Hunter is amazing. I think Monster Hunter has so much cool stuff in it, and obviously very, very well thought out. And it's like the whole thing of like killing animals and then using their parts for new weapons is such a dope concept. So it's something I would like to kind of take influence from in the acceleration. Sorry, I've gotten a bit lost here. I think we're pretty much done with this guy. What do you guys think? He's done his job. Looks like a bar scene. He's a bit brown. But brown is fine. Brown is what a bar looks like. We're happy with brown. 3 others are doing sci-fi. Who else is doing sci-fi, Sedan? I don't think anyone's making science fiction. Sorry, Fallen. Gosh. How far behind I am on reading up on everyone's stuff. My project has some sci-fi elements. To be fair, my project has sci-fi elements as well, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Ignore me, I don't know what I'm talking about. So it's a ship that contained the last of old humanity before they dropped the nukes on Earth to kill off the invading alien species, and contained the last of old humanity and androids. Okay, so very sci-fi. And terraforming robots, but radiation from the nukes caused the terraforming robots to terraform around the ship. So it's actually a ship, but viewed as a planet in the setting. Damn, that sounds cool. That's no moon. Duck, no one knows much about your setting, not even you. Poor Duck. Maybe throwing shade at him. What's the damn? The goat looks nice. Nice. Thanks. Right, I think I might call it there. What was I going to show you guys? I was going to show you guys some of my animations that I was doing last night. Right, give me a second. I'll load them up on the iPad and show them to you guys. I just need to transfer them across from my computer. Maybe I can set up a screen share thing. I'm going to share my screen with this. Without doxing myself. Okay, right. Let me see if I can get this to work. Right. We are going to quickly change. Window capture. Okay. Select a window. Okay. Okay. Right. Can you guys see this? Let me know if you can see this. Should be able to, I think. It's kind of in the way, but that's fine. Make it kind of fit the shape a bit better. There we go. You never know, it wasn't supposed to be there. Can you guys see this with the screen? But I literally explained a while ago how humanity here has flying ships and the soars the sky thanks to. I remember all of this actually. How they have bombs and NPC driven these days. He's got to with everyone's project. I'm so far behind. Honestly, I've got so much stuff going on in the background, and I've kind of overwhelmed myself a bit with this the acceleration project. Now I don't have time to read any of my books in my house. I've got so many books to read at night time, and I just don't read them at the moment. Crow, hey mate, thanks for joining in. It's sci-fi elephant having hammer is the fact that elves are technically aliens from the large moon. Very cool. How my friend? How are you doing, friends? Very good. Crow, how are you, mate? You can see it. Okay, cool. So this is the animations I was working on last night. So this is a frog egg, is what everyone calls them, but they're called just I can't remember what the frogs call them. I have it written down somewhere. I think they're called like just marble balls or something. But it's what the frogs use as currency. So the marble cubes is what everyone else uses. And they essentially, the idea with them is, I probably have a better one actually. Let me find a better introduction one. Okay, so this is how big the cubes are. So this is next to a dagger and a cup. And you can see one of the little frog ball things next to it. So they're not very big. It's like the size of a D6 or like a little bit bigger than a D6. But you get them kind of in different sizes. I was making some animations to kind of show the size of them. So, like I said, this is just like a standard cube. They literally look like marble. But that's the idea behind them. They're kind of shiny, and they can weigh any amount. So one that's the size of like a marble cube that's the size of a D6 can weigh 1 gram, or it can weigh 1 kilogram, or it could even weigh a ton, depending on how much marble you put into it. Because that's the kind of idea with that currency is, the currency is dependent on the weight. Kind of like old money, where it would just be the weight of something. But the size of the object is not dependent on the weight. With marble, it can be the density of marble does not depend on its size. You can essentially input as much density as you have available to it. But yeah. So the frogs use these frog egg things. It's just a preference, I think. I say I think as if I don't know. But other people don't like them because you can hide like lead weights inside just to increase the weight of them. So if someone didn't have like a proper measurement tool and they were just weighing it, then you could totally lie to them and just have lead weights inside and only have like a little bit of marble actually inside of them. So I was doing some little fun animations just to kind of show them off. But yeah, so this is a little switch. Oops, is that all of them? That's where I had more. Oh, that one didn't work. Oh yeah, and I did. I was trying to figure out some animations of like drops that I could just do as like little input parts. So I did. I made some coins, and it's funny. I think because of my lighting setup, all the black coins that you can see are actually gold, and it absolutely did not work. So it's it looks a bit janky. But I made some marble coins as well. They just look like little discs, but yeah, this is like a fun one to make. Okay, this one took ages to render. This took about 25 minutes to render. So this is a dagger I made on stream a little while ago. And this one is, it's just to show that this is like a super expensive dagger because the hilt and like the counterweights on the hilt are made, counterweights, what's it called? The wrist guard or whatever it is, and then the pommel at the bottom are all made from pure marble. So this is the kind of dagger like a rich person would have. So I did like a little simulated camera movement to show, just to show it off. I thought it'd be like a cool one to have running in the background whilst I was like talking over the top of it. But yeah, what do you guys think? It's like they were, to be honest, the animations did not take very long to make, and I'd already set up the shader for my marble. So this was a custom shader that I found a tutorial for online. And then, like I said, the other stuff we kind of improvised on stream, but it was fun. Fun making them. I think you should change the hilt on the dagger. It looks like a sword-like hilt. Well, I based it off of a 17th century dagger, like a ceremonial dagger, and that's exactly what this would be. Just because it's, like I said, it's a lot of marble in there, and marble kind of works a bit like gold. Like if you had it really dense, like a lot of weight into a blade or something, it would be really sharp and very good. But if a lot of people kind of line their stuff with it, so it's kind of over the top of an object, so it's only like a really small amount of marble actually on the object, but they wear it as jewelry to kind of show off. So this is like a bit like a ceremonial dagger, just because no one would put that much marble into a weapon because it would be kind of useless anyway, or it'd break. Yeah. Someone's about to lose their marbles. So in the acceleration, don't put all your marble in one coin. God, that's a good expression. I'm writing that down, Sidon. Don't put all your marble in one coin. I don't know. I've got an Excel spreadsheet of all the expressions I want to start using. I've mentioned like a few in previous videos, but not that many. But I've got a bunch for marble stuff. Put all your marble in one coin. That's a great expression, Sidon. Looks dope. Does look cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I didn't make many. It was just these few, and you're going to see these in the next video anyway. And again, they're going to be used to kind of talk about the scale. I might do a couple more animations like this next to something. So they'll be next to like a cup, or they'll be next to like a human hand or something, just so you can kind of see the scale. I'm also thinking about doing, I'm thinking about doing a real video showing the logic behind it, because I think I talked to you guys. I remember I talked to Fallen, I think, and a few other people about the problem with coins and this like idea, because if you had, let's say, like a gram of marble in a coin, it wouldn't be problematic, right? It's like you can pick a coin off of a table quite easily. But if you had like 1 kilogram in a coin, it's like that would be quite difficult with your fingertips to kind of pick it off the table. And of course, higher weights would be much more challenging. So I was trying to think of like a better shape design, because obviously the advantage with coins is you can stack them and they're easy to store away. There's loads of advantages to them. Actually, I had a list of these here. So yeah, coins, they're easy to make because you just press them. They're stackable. They won't roll off a table unless you literally roll them. However, if they're too heavy, they're difficult to pick up. Whereas the advantage with cubes is they're easy to make as well. You just have a little square press. They're stackable as well. They won't roll away. They're much easier to pick up. Not super easy, but much easier if they're like a high weight. They look like a D6. So for the TTRPG, I was thinking one of the stretch goals would be custom dice, which would be marble cubes. And it would have like obviously like the markers for a D6. But I thought it would be like a cool addition to have like for a Kickstarter. And one more thing, the reason they have holes in them is so people can put string through them. So you could wear your marble as a necklace, and you could have them on a string. And if you were carrying like a few different amounts, like if you were going to buy some certain things, you would have this one's 10 grams, this one's 15, and this one's another 10 grams. So you could carry them on a string and then take them to the bank. The only thing I'm trying to figure out at the moment is it's obviously not super clear what weight they are. So it's like you'd have to weigh them at home and then take them in. And I was thinking at the bank you could split them. So you could split like a 10-gram cube into two 5-gram cubes, which are the same size, to kind of divide them up. But again, I'm going to talk about that. Like, it's going to be a bit of a meta video because I'm going to kind of discuss what I was thinking whilst making them. But yeah, we'll see. I use this one comparison for my book, Accumulated like Baltium. This one line led to 2 pages of law. Jeez, 20 pages. Oh gosh, that's a lot of law. If you don't design a law book to be printed side down, I think you're crazy. You need to put this into a book. With your cubes, you could literally have a pole that bankers and merchants could carry them on, kind of like a scroll tube or something. That's a cool idea. Yeah, like so they would literally just be like pierced on like a rack, like an abacus, but vertical. How would that work? That's an interesting idea, Laura. Color would be a dope way to differentiate them. So my brother said the same thing to me. The only problem with that is, one thing I've had with marble is it's like a really flexible material. So it's what they use for the cyborgs. Like the cyborgs in my setting, the androids, the drones, and a lot of like Byzantine pre-tech is made using marble, which is why it's so valuable. And obviously when settlements started, people would go out to the edges of the forest and find marble there because there was marble everywhere, and those people became really rich because they just collected all the marble that was close by. And obviously there's not much left close to these settlements, so people have to go much deeper into the forest to find marble, and of course that's super dangerous, so not a lot of people are able to capture it. So the reason it's so great is it's a bit like gold in that it's super conductive, it's very malleable, and if you know how to work it, you can pretty much make it into anything or have it line anything. So it's so useful. People can't really use it in the same way as like the Byzantine because they don't know how. Like they were able to make androids and buildings and these huge like war machines. But people can, like these experts can do them quite well, like manipulate it quite well. So one of the negatives of it is you can't make an alloy out of it. You can't mix it with any other metals, which means you can't color it. It's not possible. It's always that particular shade of like white, like very marble, essentially color. I was thinking of doing it as like I was thinking of doing it like to have like veins of blue that run through it because a big a big aspect of marble that I've shown like a few times is how they have like a blue outline. But if I'm honest, it's more of a skill issue. I haven't managed to figure out a way to animate that. So that might be a thing in the future if I'm capable of doing it. So for the time being, marble is going to look very much like marble. But then you'll see it hopefully when I'm able to draw it a bit more in people's like outfits and stuff like that. So yeah, it could be cool. You can still use coins for the smaller ones, the ones that are grams and milligrams, honestly. Yeah, so exactly, Fallen. So one thing I'm going to talk about a little bit more is the kind of separation of class of people depending on what you spend money on and how much money you use. And so rich people will use kilograms to buy stuff. And so they carry their kilograms around with them, or they have servants carry them because they're so heavy. And they display them as these big cubes very dramatically, and they wear them in their clothes and stuff like that. People who use grams are like normal people. You know, they spend money normally, and a lot of people just use cubes for the grams. And then poor people use milligrams for everything, and they typically use coins because they're really easy to press, like to stamp out. And so you'll have some coins which will have like certain dragons stamped on them. So you'll have like the dragon of the kind rodent face on some of the coins. I had this whole system where the shape of the coin would indicate the weight, but again, with like the weight differentiation, it just made it it didn't really work. So I'll talk about it all in the video because I've got loads of art about it. In fact, I'll show you guys the art I've been making for it. Let me just open this up. So I've got a lot of art for it now. Right, let's hide this one. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so this is one of the inventors of a lot of the art. His name is P. Gensmith. He's a dog fae, but he's one of like the masters of manipulating marble. He knows how to do it, and he knows how to work it and stuff like that. So a lot of people come to him to know how to do it. And he's written a lot of the manuscripts on it, and some of the manuscripts are things like, okay, the Gensmith marble scale, which a lot of banks use to separate marble into certain shapes. So they have these molds, and they go up to 999 kilograms. So they're like really dense pieces of kit that you can use to kind of convert currencies into like smaller amounts, essentially. But this is all like present in his book. He also talks about the marble extractor unit, which is what a lot of people use to like extract marble from like pre-tech sites, and they use these like really high-tech volt batteries. They're called Mu kits, just because I thought it was a cool name. Marble extractor units. And then that is in one of these pictures. This is kind of spoilers here for the video, but this is what you see in like this picture. He's using a Mu kit to kind of extract it from this marble vase. And the guy who's on duty is a bit distracted, and they're both about to get munched. But so I'm going to talk about a lot about these kind of things in the video. Had a cool picture pop into my head of the bankers in your world using those marbles like calculators, but lots of those cubes instead. Yeah, like an abacus would be a cool way to do it. If marble is traded as currency, it could maybe be traded in rods or sticks like cinnamon or copper. A very convenient shape for making things out of, as using it for wiring. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea, Jika. So yeah, it could be like, yeah, like bars of marble. I'm gonna write that down. Bars of marble. Bars of marble. So like alternative shapes where it's like maybe traders. It's not so convenient for traders to use small amounts, so they would just convert it. Well, yeah. So the thing with marble is because it can be pretty much it can be as large as you want, depending on how much marble is in there, the density of the marble. I think I wrote down a small calculation. Essentially, it's like 1 gram of marble can cover a square meter. So if you imagine you had a square meter tile, you could 1 gram of marble would cover the top layer of that. So you can get a lot of marble and like cover like a breastplate or cover like a helmet in marble or something. And again, it's very decorative because it's not very strong. Like if someone hit it with a hammer or something, it would dent the marble. So you can't just protect yourself with just a marble helmet. But yeah, it'd be a much more convenient way to transport it, like heavy amounts. That's a good idea, Chika. Very good idea. I was in the kitchen and did I hear? Did you say PP Smith? He's called. I keep forgetting his name. He's called P. Jen Smith. That's his name. Yeah. P. Jen Smith. Really complex, really dense marble shapes. Do you know, I'm definitely going to come back to marble in the future, and I'm going to show more complex shapes. In a video I want to do about what do I want to do? In a video I want to do about my brain's not working today. About pre-tech temples. So I want to do a video about pre-tech temples, and so there's gonna be a lot of stuff in there about like the kind of design of androids. I was a bit inspired by Sawyer Lee and his kind of like cross sections of dragons where you see the organs inside. So I wanted to do something similar for like a drone, where they managed to like take a drone apart and you could see the inner workings of a drone. And maybe it's like presented by P. Jen Smith, as he's like kind of the expert on it. But so yeah, it's an idea. It's all kind of working, but yeah, it's a bit complicated. But I think that's the point in world building, right? So there's gonna be a lot of videos I'm going through. See, I was kind of conceptualizing a lot of these, but I think this one's my favorite one. Like 2 flies, please. How much is a fly? That's the problem. Is like no one likes marbles. Like no one likes the marble balls that the frogs have. But this is the only thing that frogs use. So they have to try and convince people to let them buy stuff with their marbles. Love Sawyer Lee. Me too. He's such an OG. He's like one of the big ones. I think when you think of like the big names like Monster Garden, you also think of Sawyer Lee, Eternal Ruin. What's the Swedish dude? Is it? Let me have a look. His name is. Who else are some of the big ones? Oh my gosh, am I not following him? I must be following him. Oh yeah, Rick's Creations is a big one. Tales of Tumin. There's a few really big ones. Project Morningstar is a good sci-fi one. There's loads of really big dudes, but yeah. Me and the homies trying to pay our way into the bar with 2 pennies and a bottle cap we found outside the spot. Hell yeah. Like, hey bro. I know this is Albion, but you do take Swedish krone. Please, it's all we got. We need to get crunked with the ladies. Keep forgetting how small the frog folk are. Yeah, so most Fae are like, you know, about average human size. So there's not much difference. Frog dudes are shorter. Yeah. I'd say they're about 4 foot. I don't know what that is in old money. Or new money, I should say. They're like 120 centimeters, maybe? Tree Lancer, good shout, Jika. Yeah, Tree Lancer's another OG. Ritfitch is another one. Matt Rhodes, of course. Lily S. Do you guys know Lily S? She's awesome. She posts so much content, and it's like pure world building, because it's stuff like, okay, I made a calculator that is also a magic item, and she just talks about the calculator for like the whole video and just shows her concept, and it's like really, really beautiful sketches, but very, very like good detailed stuff as well. Who's the other guy? There's like an Aussie guy who does loads of shorts, and it's like very stylized images. what's his name? Baron's quite like a well-known name, I think. Who's the other dude? Oh, I can't remember his name. I used to watch Curious Archive, and that introduced me to so many bloody channels and artists. Yeah, Curious Archive's awesome because he shares like so much stuff from other people. I really appreciate his channel. Gosh, he's got 1.42 million. Jeez. He does a lot on like video games and stuff. I like Curious Archive. I mean, the boys 3 beers, please. She's one of my favorites. Such fun projects. Yeah, absolutely. I think she must be. I think she does work in the industry. Like she's obviously a professional artist, and she's like very good at what she does, but also just the actual conceptualizing stuff. And I like her. I like the fact that she's obviously training herself to improve by doing these videos. But she had like a world building project before, with like the birds in like the library or something. I can't remember what it was. It was like very cool. And the birds had like coin faces. Drawing so hard. How do you all do it? Honestly, Sidon, just takes a long time. It just takes a long time to get there. I think I started drawing. I probably told this story a million times. So I started drawing again in 2018, and I literally have not stopped drawing since 2018. So I'm only at this level, and you know, not even a super high level, 8 years later. So just takes some time. Crazy K is a really cool channel as well, mostly D&D resides. Crazy K. Crazy K. Oh, I am subscribed to him. Ah, yeah, he just did that Magic Bacteria one. Yeah. I watched a few of his videos a while ago. He did like a series about giants, didn't he? I need to watch some of his videos again. It's a good show. I say huge shout out is Keenan Taylor, as he's absolute goat. Yeah, he posted a lot as well. Keenan Taylor. He did the one about the Sphinx vampires, right? Oh no, Keenan Taylor. Oh yeah. Cryptic Galapagos gave him a shout out actually on the pod. And he does like a lot of speculative evolution stuff, right? I really love his art as well. I'm not subscribed to him. Tales of Chimera, that's it. Nice. Yeah, drawing is always hard at the beginning. It is. I think it's like most skills, right? It's like it's just a bit of a challenge and just takes time and like an investment. Scary dude. I was like googling scarred veterans to try and get some inspiration for this guy, but it's the best I could do. Baron and Winter are who got me back into art myself. Nice. Actually, just recently picked it up again. I always had the setting I'm working on it right in the back of my head, but they really inspired me to start doing art. Yeah, me too, man. I think I said in the pod, for me it was Eternal Ruin, Monster Garden, and Winter were the first exposure I had, and I was like, oh man, I gotta try this. This sounds cool. So I think if I hadn't seen a lot of Winter stuff, I don't think I would have got back into it. So, or got into the world building at least. I was doing drawing before. Keenan has written like 2 or 3 books, and it's just wowza. He's worked on the same project constantly for like so many years. That's awesome. Oh yeah, he's got books in Barnes and Noble. Damn. So he's got like a publishing. That's awesome. Nice. Right. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there. Oh, I like this image that I drew. In fact, the original image was with coins when I was doing like the coins one. But I was like, I did them with like human hand, dropping it into a human hand. But I was like, oh, I kind of want to do a fey hand. So I had to try and figure out how a hat, like a bird fey's hand would look. I think it looks okay, right? Not too bad. So this was the coin designs I was doing, like the different shapes, and then I just changed it to cubes. I don't think this one looks as nice with the cubes, but it kind of shows the scale of the cubes quite well. But yeah, I started world building because I was writing. It's a good way to do it, honestly. I think it's a good way to engage writing without being like having to follow like a super linear story. I found Winter the same day he released the video about his new setting, and just kind of sat there like, oh, perfect timing. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for Copper Vale. He's got like a lot of cool ideas for it, and I feel like he's excited about the project, and it's gonna be cool to see how the cryptids start to come into play. Bird Hands Fire. Thanks, mate. Right, I think we might call it for today. I think we did quite well on that. Where were we? So we managed to get Bacchus done. I think it looks quite cool. Pretty good one. So thank you for keeping me company, guys. I appreciate all the tips as well. I wrote down a bunch of your suggestions because there was some good stuff in there. So we might come back to that in a future date. But I think, yeah, I'm happy with this. I'll try and get this posted, hopefully, before the weekend so that I start voting on the next one. I'm going to try and do at least one a week because I want this to be like a big aspect of the YouTube members thing where they can like kind of download them. So they can, if they want, they can print them off and just have them on their wall, or like, I don't know, print them off to have, or like to use them as like a screensaver. So I'm going to try and do at least one a week. So there's at least 4 in the Toad Sergeants members page. So hopefully this is the thing I'll be doing every stream. So what I might try and do is get it done as soon as possible so that people can start voting on it immediately. And then by Wednesday next week, they'll have a bunch of votes on it. So then it just means it gives people a chance to get their votes up. Because I feel like the people who vote, the people who put their comments on first are generally the people who win. And especially if there's only, I normally post on Sunday. So if there's only 3 days, it doesn't leave much time. So I'm going to try and post it as soon as possible, let people know about it immediately, and then give it a few more days so that there's more opportunities for people to vote on the names. And then hopefully it will give some people a chance just if they write the name late, but we'll see. All my world building stems from a really crap drawing I did years ago of the Lich Monster thing of my setting, and since then I have just been building. I love the Lich Monsters in your setting. They're so cool and really horrible in a complimentary way. I'd say they're very very scary looking. All of the art he's been sharing in the Discord of it has been amazing. I agree, definitely. He's like a very skilled artist, and he like knows his craft well, and it's really interesting to see his like conceptualization. It's been nice working with him on a few projects because I've had the chance to kind of chat to him about it, but he's he knows his stuff for sure. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your night as well, or morning or afternoon or whatever. And I'll see you guys in the Discord or next week on Wednesday's stream, or in Duck's stream on Friday, or Riffy does a stream on Thursdays as well if anyone's about. Riffy's one of the other people in the Discord. It's a good one to check out. And Duck does his on Fridays about the same time. So again, another one to check out. But yeah. All my world building stems from a world when I was 7. Damn. Invested time into it, Sidon. Nice. You have to conceptualize it into something, Sidon. Get into a book that you can share or sell or publish. Or try and get an artist on board to help you visualize it, or keep working away at your drawing. It's getting good, Sidon. So I think you have to get some pictures out there for it, and for like a YouTube channel or something. Many years in the making, exactly. Steve will win one day, Blank. Steve will get there. Right, guys, I appreciate you all being here. It's been a fun stream actually. I think we're quite efficient there. Pesto as well. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks Blank, thanks 420, thanks Sidon, thanks Lawrat, and Fallen and Jika. Who else do we have in? We also had Duck, Lazy Crow. We had a few more people at the start as well. Blank, appreciate it. We had Rabbids, Joe for a little bit. I think that was everybody. Yeah, I appreciate you guys all being here, and enjoy the rest of your time. And Laser Crow coming in at the last minute. My world building is just creatures that burst out my skull. That's a good way to do it. Right, thanks guys. I'll see you all in the Discord, or I'll see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks guys. Bye bye.